deep and surface structures. So, though we have seen that there is a lot of change in Chomsky's work from deep structures to other aspects, but we do need to understand deep structures to understand his theory. The structuralist approach to language was corpus bound. Both phoneme and morpheme was thought to be units of form rather than of meanings. The method was inductive, and it also failed to account for ambiguities, the sentence that had two meanings, right, and interrelatedness. To answer these questions, an adequate grammar was needed, that is, productive, complex, and arbitrary. It must establish relationship of various sentences and account for deep and surface structure, what takes place in the mind and what is uttered. It must explain the relationship between sets of sentences, as we will see. For example, what is the relationship between he wrote a letter was written? Though we know that the first is active, the second is passive, but how the passive has taken place from the active. Why did you go there? It's an interrogative sentence. So it comes from the simple, you went there for some reason. Where do you live? So you live somewhere. So what is the relationship between these pairs of sentences? It was not very much known before Chomsky came and discusses such things. Though there are some traces, obviously, in the work of his teachers. TG grammar is both transformational and generative. It tells that how we transform different sentence into different sentences and how we generate new sentences. It goes a step further from the structural grammar. It analyzes the sentence, divides them into parts and shows the functions of various parts and rearrange them and shows the interrelatedness between sentences. It takes up the basic or kernel sentence first. A basic or kernel sentence is simple, assertive, and active in form. For example, we have John is playing football, I wrote a letter, you spoke the truth. So these are kernel sentences, and these kernel sentences are at the deep level. So at the surface level, they are non-kernel sentences. John is playing can become interrogative. Is John playing? Negative, John is not playing. And passive. For example, a letter was written by me. Who wrote the letter? Question. Why did you speak the truth? Question form. You spoke the truth when you were post complex sentence. You did not speak the truth. Negative. You spoke the truth but told a new story, a compound sentence. All the kernel structures or complicated structures can be thought of as having been derived from their kernel forms with the help of some transformation, with the help of some transformational rules. So how a passive sentence is formed from an active sentence, and interrogative sentence is formed from a simple assertive sentence is studied under this transformational grammar. A sentence like where did you go yesterday can be derived from the kernel sentence you went somewhere, right? By applying certain transformational rules. Transformational analysis is not only shows the interrelatedness between sentences but also explain the ambiguity between sentences that appear identical but are transformed from different kernels. For example, flying plane can be dangerous. So this sentence has been ambiguous for quite some time, even centuries. So was the subject flying or the plane? So this can be solved with the help of this deep and surface structure, that if some people fly planes, this can be dangerous, and planes fly, this can be dangerous. So if we say the subject is flying, then it goes for the first, and if say subject is the plane, so it can be the B. Answer can be the B, that at the surface level, at the deep level, it was the B, two sentences which brought forth this one, in which planes were the subject. Similarly, I expected John to hit a 6 has two sentences. I expected something, John hits a 6. I asked John to hit a 6. I asked John something, he hits a 6. And similarly, John is eager to please. Here, John is the subject. So, John is eager for something, he pleases someone. And John is easy to please. Here, John is object, and it is easy, someone pleases John. So, with the help of these deep structures, we are now able to understand that why these sentences have structural ambiguity. A kernel sentence is deep structure to which a string of transformational rules is applied to generate the surface structure. So, with the help of this theory of Chomsky, the deep structure and the surface structure, we are able to know that why there is an ambiguity in the structure of sentence, how we can explain that why the two meanings have two different deep structures, and we can tell that why one meaning sets with one set of sentences, deep sentences, and other with another sets of deep sentences. So this helps us in understanding a lot of things.